What's happening? And welcome back. Today we're kind of picking up where we left off yesterday, which was the working principle that most people never learned, and we're just going to kind of start from there, um, where we were just kind of getting into this thing called work, and how work is not a job, and how a job just leads us to being just over broke. And today we're going to look at why most people never get to the next level and what they can actually use that would almost inevitably get them to where they want to go. So, guys, thanks for joining me, and let's go ahead and jump right into this. So, yesterday we used a few scriptures, Matthew 13 in verse 11. And in that chapter, in that verse, it talks about the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom has been given to you, but not to them. So Jesus was talking to his disciples. He was talking to his inner circle. So a lot of people have a misconception about Jesus and how Jesus wanted to help everybody. Yeah, he wanted to help, but he wasn't going to give you a free ride. Jesus didn't give anybody a free ride. The only people who got the knowledge was his inner circle. What you think about it? There are a lot of rich people. I ain't gonna say a lot, but there's rich people in the world. Why there's so little rich, but mostly poor? It's knowledge. The knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom. Now, here's the thing. Do we need the secrets of the kingdom so that we can be rich? Actually, no. We just need to go and find out what they're doing and then apply the kingdom principles. So that's one thing. Then the other thing is we talked about work. And we talked about work. Where was work found first? Where was the first time work was mentioned? Two places in Genesis in chapter 2. The first time was in verse number 5. It talks about how God did not water the ground because he had no one to manage it. No one to work the ground. Verse number 5. And then in verse number 15, I believe, it says that God planted a garden and he put the man in it to work the garden. So if we were created to work, another word for that is management. If we were created to manage something, imagine if all you had to think about is managing what you're supposed to manage. Wouldn't it be kind of easy to get to the next level? Well, today we're going to look at really what will make it simpler. And it's found in Proverbs, tucked away in verse number 18, in chapter 18 in verse number 16. It says, and I quote, "A gift opens a way for the giver." That's what it says. I want to make sure I read this right. A gift opens a way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. That's the NIV. Let's read the King James really quick. I like to do a contrast here. A man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. Why most people never get to the next level is they never apply their management to their gift so that their gift can serve people. They never apply their management to their gift so their gift can serve people. What is a gift? What is a gift? Now, I know I've talked about gifts before, and today we're going to look a little bit closer to what a gift really is. I was thinking about Christmas, when I was a kid, and I remember there was a time a time during Christmas in the 80s when all of us boys, we all wanted something that was the same. And what we wanted was a remote control car. I remember getting a remote control car. Now, here's the thing. I was the youngest. So my older brother, Willie, we affectionately called him Buck, he got the best one. I remember he got the one that had the better steering wheel, like it had the better remote, and it was faster, and it was so cool. But mine was okay, right? But that was a gift. I anticipated this gift. Whether it was exactly like his, didn't matter, but it still was good. Who gave me the gift? my mom and dad. Those gifts opened the way for them. See, a lot of times when you give a gift, you give a gift because you want to give a gift. So we're talking about one side of a gift. And we want to give this gift to someone because we love them or because it's a special day, but we want to give a gift. Usually, when we give, it says in the Bible, it is better to give than it is to receive. So how is giving going to get me to the next level? So there's a giving and then there's a gift. So in the context of the gift that we're talking about, that's actually not the gift. So, and this is the problem. The problem that we have when it comes to understanding our gifts is we look at gifts kind of like presents. They're just sporadic. We pretty much, it's just a time and a place. There's Christmas time, there's birthdays, there's weddings, there's anniversaries. There's all sorts of things where gifts are, oh, this is when we're giving out gifts, and this is when gifts should be expected. But what if every day, all we thought about was giving our gift? See, what's cool about giving your gift is that you don't have to think about all the other gifts you got to give. You heard that? You don't have to think about Christmas. You don't have to think about birthdays. You don't have to think about Thanksgiving and anniversaries, and you don't have to think about weddings. You don't have to think about when someone graduates. You don't have to think about none of that, because what if you understood how valuable your gift was and people understood how valuable your gift was? What if they understood how valuable your gift was? What do you think would happen? What do you think would happen if people understood how valuable your gift was? That means see, when people understand value, what do? Let's think. When people understand value, they start looking for it. It's kind of like we was hungry. And if we didn't have any food in the house, then we'd be like, well, where are we going to go get something to eat? Then what we're doing is we're seeking out the value so we can use that value to put in our stomach. It could be the value that the supermarket has. We can say, hey, they got the products that we want. It could be, a restaurant. It could be, a fast food restaurant or sit down, whatever it is. We go and we seek it out. Somebody had to say, I have a gift for the world. But here's the thing. Gifts aren't free. You can't go to Safeway, Giant, Publix, Harris Teeter, Whole Foods. You can't go to any of these supermarkets and say, hey, can I have all of your gifts for free? They say, well, there's a price on it. And we gladly pay the prices. So, all right, you have a gift. And the problem with getting to the next level is I'm not going to say you may not want to put a price tag on it, because you may be saying, oh man, nobody want to pay for that. What? I know right now people are paying for things that they deem valuable. So as long as someone deems it valuable, it's worth the money. Check that out, right? See, we've been colonized, if you will. We've been colonized to believe that the job is the thing that brings us money. The job is not the thing that brings us money. The job is the things that hold us over until we can discover our gift, so we can then put the price tag on the gift, and then that gift will pay us until we leave the planet. Did you know a job won't pay you until you leave the planet, unless you just die on the job? A job is only going to pay. Here's when a job won't pay you. The job won't pay you long enough, just long enough, right? So they can get the most use out of you. The most use, right? They're going to take you all the way until they say, we don't need you anymore. Hey, lay off. Oh, you know what? We're downsizing. They will take you right to where they say, we don't need these positions anymore. That's what jobs do. So a job keeps you there as long as they deem you valuable. And then they say, you know what? We can get that for cheaper. You've been here for 20 years. You know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to downsize that job, but they're going to bring the job back as something else. That's what they do. They downsize and they revamp, bring the job back a different way, and they pay less. Or they pay the same amount with more work. So think about it. So why do people not get to the next level? First thing we want to just insert here is that most people have failed to identify their value. Their value is not just the skills that they have. Their value is not just the occupation that they have. Their value is not just the amount of schooling that you got. Your value is really what is. It's kind of like you cannot learn to have a gift. See, your gift was inherently with you when you were born. Now that doesn't mean that you don't have to cultivate your gift. We all have to cultivate our gifts. The thing about our gifts is that our gifts are inherent to us. So one of the things that one of my gifts is that I believe, like have belief. You could say a gift of faith, and I've had to cultivate it. See, I can go back to when I was young, and I can remember having faith at a young age, but I didn't understand it. But now as I get older, I'm starting to understand that my faith is like one of my greatest assets because I believe that everything can be done. I believe that all things are possible. I try not to put a barrier in front of me if I can't do something. I've probably done it some, but I've worked on that. So, and because I worked on it, I see when other people do it. I'm saying, oh, you're putting a barrier in front of yourself. When we just got to have faith. Just got to have the anticipation that this thing is going to work for us. Then there's a lot of times your gift is all in how you sound. Your voice has a special frequency. And that frequency, what the frequency does is it's almost like a beacon to those who need you. Your voice is a beacon. So when someone hears it, they say, man, I think I like that. If you put me next to a lot of accountants and we all start talking, a lot of people are not going to like me. They're not going to like this person. Like we're all going to have a group of people that says, I like this guy and I don't like this one. Not that they don't like you. They say he more resonates with me. So the sound of your voice becomes one of the greatest part of your gifts, because once we can learn how to communicate, then people can hear what we're saying. And then once they can hear what we're saying, they say, oh, that's my guy or that's my gal. So we have to recognize the parts of our life that's inherent to us. No one's going to sound like me. Nobody. See, no one can do the I AFYL podcast like me. Someone can name and have the name Account for Your Life, and they could do it their way, but it would never sound like me. It would never be me, and that's just how it works. So the sound of our voice. Then we have that inherent just ability. Then there's other soft things, right? I was listening to Myron Golden. He's an amazing guy. Definitely want to check him out. I was listening to Myron Golden. He was talking about some of the things he likes, like how he geeks out on like scientific stuff, and he likes to read, and he's always taking in knowledge. Why? Because he's the kind of person that he's a teacher. So he takes in a lot of knowledge, stills it down, and then he applies these biblical principles to it, and then he's able to teach that. No one can teach like Myron. Why? Because Myron is a one of one. Myron, what does Myron have that I don't have? One thing, he's been at it longer, 40 years. And even still, different backgrounds, different environments, different skills, different everything. So there's no competition for Myron. There's no competition for me. So if today we decided I would like to get to my next level, I got a quote for you. I got to make sure you understand what's going to happen. You ready? Here's my quote. I got this from a conference I was just at. The next level is set up to take you out. The next level is set up to take you out. That's from Pastor Ron Carpenter, Redemption Church in San Jose, California. So think about it like this now. Jay, I'm going to get to my next level. You better get ready. You better get ready because there's something that wants to take you out. And a lot of times, sometimes it's going to be external. And then sometimes it's going to be internal. And I know just when I look at my next level, I want you to look at your next level today. So I looked at my next level and I saw it. And as I saw it, what I saw was you're going to have to fight through. You're going to have to fight through your feelings. You're going to have to fight through feelings that people may have about you. You may have to fight through feelings of people around you. You may have to fight forces that may come against you. You may have to fight something. And when I say fight, it's not boom, boom, boom. It's not that. It's just realize that you have to be able to take a hit. You have to be able to take a punch. Because if you can't take a punch, you can forget it. You can forget it. If you can't take a punch, it's like Mike Tyson has a famous quote. What do he say? Everybody want to do something. He says, everybody want to fight until they get punched in the mouth. Because I'm going to tell you, you get punched in the mouth like hard, like you could potentially lose teeth. If somebody really hit you hard and you didn't have any protection on your mouth and you could lose some teeth. That's one of these things where, if you think about your next level, I don't want to lose no teeth over this. But you know what? If I got to get punched in the mouth, I got to be willing to get punched in the mouth. See, because the next level, we have to ask ourselves this. We're about to let you go. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is going through trials, tribulations, circumstances, tragedies, situations, whatever they are, will it be worth it on the other side? See, because if you can answer yes, it'll be worth it, to see what happens to my family. My immediate family, my wife, my sons, to see what happened to my parents, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my in-laws, my friends, my clients, my partner, to see what happens for the people around me, to see their faces, to see them smiling, to see them experience something that they've never experienced, to see them gain a new leaf of understanding, to see them realize that there's more for them as well. Would it be worth it? Man, absolutely. To see someone else win because I decided to take the hit. That's worth fighting for. That's worth going after. So, if we know now that most people don't get to the next level because one, they're not willing to get hit. They're not willing to get punched in the mouth. Two, they're not willing to learn how to manage the thing that is their gift. And then to put a price tag on it. If you do those things, or if you avoid doing those things, then it's inevitable that you'll get to the next level, or it's inevitable that you won't get to the next level. Today, you can choose. Choose your level. Go there or stay where you are. I hope you got value today. I hope there's been some clarity that you've gotten over getting to your next level. And I pray that you've decided that it's worth it to get to your next level, because I know what? I'm rooting for you. If no one else is rooting for you, I'm rooting for you. And I look forward to hearing about you in your next level. Guys, I thank you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. This is Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.